Hi boys and girls, welcome to Chapter 10, Lesson 5. This is the last lesson in Chapter 10. So after today, your chapter test will be coming up soon. Alright, our topic today is, after today you will know how to find the surface area of pyramids. So again, area, we're counting squares, and I know that you looked at in the last lab a little bit about how you can fold up a net to make a pyramid. So I've got a few different nets to show you. Okay, so here is one net that will fold up to make a pyramid, and this would be the base. This would make a square base pyramid. So when I fold it up, looks like this. The base is a square, and then I've got four identical triangles. So this is one type of pyramid that we will look at today, a square base pyramid. The other kind of pyramid looks like this. It has a base that is a triangle, and then the sides are also triangles, but when I fold this up, it makes a pyramid. The base is a triangle, and you have three lateral face triangles. So four triangles altogether, one triangle being the base, and three lateral face triangles. The next type of pyramid is another triangle-based pyramid, but as you can see, it looks different than this one. This one makes a perfect triangle itself. This one does not. This one, all four triangles happen to be identical, but when I fold this one, I still get triangle base, and I've got three lateral face triangles. Okay, so after showing you those, let's draw a net of a square base pyramid, and I'm going to give you some vocabulary words. Alright, so square base pyramid. And in our drawing, we're going to include what is a vertex. The vertex of a pyramid. We're going to talk about the lateral face of a pyramid. And we're going to talk about the slant height of a pyramid. Alright, so now let's draw an example pyramid. So come down about maybe 3 boxes, and I'm going to make a box or a square that's a 2 by 2. So that is going to be the base of my pyramid. And then I'm going to come out 2 boxes, and right in the middle, and then I'm going to connect from the top edge of the square, right in the middle, go up 2, and again connect. Same thing from the bottom, 2 down, right from the bottom, and connect, and same thing to this side. So there is my square base pyramid, okay, this guy. Fold it up, and I've got 4 triangles on the lateral face and a square base. So I'm also going to use a pink highlighter and draw this line. And that line, that pink line, I'm going to say that is 6 units, and this is also called the slant height of the pyramid. This point right here, the very, very tip of the triangle, they're all going to come together at the top, and that creates the vertex. Okay, and the other term that we wanted to talk about is this triangle. That is called a lateral face. Okay, and the other dimension that I want to give you is this. This line right here is a 4, which means this is a 4, this is a 4, and this is a 4 as well, because that is a square. So now let me put together that pyramid and tell you, we'll go through the vocabulary. So here is my square base pyramid, and now I've made it into a pyramid. When these triangles all touch at the very top, this point right here, where all 4 triangles come together, that is called the vertex. So here's my pyramid. This point at the very top is the vertex. The slant height, if I look at, oh, I don't have a slant height on this one. Let me quickly put that on there. Slant height is how tall the triangle is. Okay, so should have had that on here, but I didn't. That pink line is the slant height. So when I fold this up, my lateral face triangle, this is the base, this is the slant height. That's what that's called. And the lateral faces are the triangle faces. Okay, base, lateral face are the triangles. So now we've got our pyramid terminology. Next thing we're going to do is figure out, well, how do we find the area of this thing? How many squares does it take to make that shape? So that's what we're going to work on next. The surface area of a square base pyramid. You're finding the area of those shapes. You've got a triangle or a square base. So I'm going to write that. We've got a square base, and I'm going to go back to what we've talked about throughout chapters 9 and 10, formula work units. What is the formula for area of a rectangle or a square? It's base times height. Okay, so this is our formula. I'm going to abbreviate F, formula. We also have 4 triangles. And I have that 4 times. 1 square, 4 triangles. And how do we find the area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. Always we're starting with our formulas. And I'm going to show my work going this way. Sometimes I show it going down. Today I'm going to be showing it across here. And then on this example I might show it down. Look at the base of the pyramid. To get the area of the bottom of the pyramid, I'm going to do base times height of this figure. So this is a 4 times a 4. The area of the base is 16 units squared. So formula, work, and units. Okay, remember we're emphasizing that throughout chapter 9 and 10, formula, work, units. Now I'm looking at this triangle right here. Well, this pink line, I could have also put it right here. And that, in fact, I'm going to do that. So that line that's a 6, it's also the same as this. So now I can look at this triangle right here, and this is my base, and this is the height of the triangle. Base times height. The base of the triangle is 4. The height is 6 divided by 2. 4 times 6 is 24, divided by 2, half of that becomes 12 units squared. However, we've got 4 of those triangles, so now what I need to do is total. Here's the base, and then 4 triangles. I could have shortcutted this to 12 times 4, but I just wanted to show it separate to show that there's 4 of them a little more clearly. 12, 12, 12, and 12 is 48, plus 16. That makes 58. That makes 64 units squared. That's how much material it would take to make the net for that square pyramid. 64 units squared. So, if you have a square pyramid, this is what your work should look like. You should have a square base, a triangle, and you're figuring out the areas. The triangle you need 4 times. Your work should look like this. Again, we're just breaking down the shapes that make up the pyramid, finding the area of all of them and putting them all together. Okay, so next we're going to look at the triangle-based pyramid. Before I do that, though, your hidden treasure for this lesson is absolute value. Look it up. If you don't remember, give the definition of absolute value. What does absolute value mean? And also, what is the symbol for absolute value? Okay, so two things. Explain what absolute value means and what is the symbol for absolute value. Okay, moving on. Area of a square-based triangle. Square-based pyramid, sorry. Next, we're going to look at surface area for a triangle-based pyramid. So what if our base is a triangle? Triangle base pyramid. And I'm going to sketch a triangle here. So I'm going to sketch a triangle that looks like that. And that is going to be our base. And then I'm going to make the sides of the triangle. I'm going to make those a little taller. It's this example. Okay, the triangles are not all the same. These three are the same, but the base is not the same as the sides. So I'm going to draw this example. I am not going to do this example. So I'm going to try my best to make this look right. And again, these are sketches. They don't have to be perfect. Okay, but that's not too bad. So if I fold that up, it's going to be this one right here. It's going to have three lateral faces that are the same. The base is not the same as the lateral faces. But again, I've got a slant height here, and now let's give this some numbers. So I'm going to tell you the slant height. That line is, I'm going to make that a 5. That's 5 units. This side right here is a 4, which means this is also a 4, and that's a 4, because the base is going to be an equilateral triangle. So that's a 4, that's a 4, that's a 4. And then I also have another slant height. Imagine just the base and the base triangle. If this is the base of the base triangle, the bird would land here and the poop line would go straight down. There's another slant height for just that triangle. That would look like this. I know these drawings get really complicated, and that's the hardest part of this whole chapter, is figuring out the drawings and what numbers go where. So that slant height of the base, I'm going to tell you, is 3.5 units. Okay? So now let's break down this. We have a base triangle. And I'm going to do formula work units again. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. And that is my formula. It's always where I start. So I'm looking at just this base triangle. This is the base of the base triangle, this 4. The height is 3.5. So I'm going to plug in those numbers. I've got 4 times 3.5 divided by 2. So when I type all of that into the calculator, 4 times 3.5, and I divide that answer by 2, I come up with 7 units squared. So all I've done so far is figure out this triangle. In fact, we'll use some more color here. So this is the base triangle. That's this one. Well, I've got 3 other lateral face triangles that now we've got to find the area of those. So lateral face my formula is the same because it's a triangle. base times height divided by 2. I forgot to say this is the work and this is the units, formula work units. And again, I'm starting with a triangle, so formula. Now I'm looking at the lateral face triangles. Okay, so let's make those orange. We'll add some more color here. So I'm looking at that triangle, and that's a lateral face triangle. Those are the orange ones. Well, the base of this triangle is a 4. So that's a 4. The height is a 5. So I'm going to plug in those numbers. 4 times 5 divided by 2. Here's my work. Finally, the units. 4 times 5 makes 20. Divide that by 2, and we have 10 units squared. That's the orange lateral face triangle. Turn our camera down a little bit. All right, last step. We've got a base, and we've got 3 of these. So I'm going to combine 7 square units for the base plus this number 3 times, because there's 3 of those triangles. So I need 7 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10. 3 of the lateral face triangles. So I could have also said 3 times this. When I combine all of this, 7 plus 3 tens, I get 37 units squared. So that does it for surface area of a pyramid. Again, I think it's easiest to look at these pyramids if you imagine them flat, okay? But really the hardest part is really looking at it and figuring out what numbers go where. So you really got to look close and ask lots of questions if you're not sure. Again, focusing on formula. Start with the formula, then put in the numbers, and then don't forget your units, okay? So, square base pyramid, this is your strategy. Got to get the square, area of the square, and then 4 triangles. If it's a triangle base pyramid, your work looks like this. You've got a triangle base, and then you've got 3 lateral face triangles. Okay, like I said, this is the last lesson for Chapter 10. Your test will be coming up soon. I will see you again soon.